Hey everyone, this week I decided to give some attention and passion to one of my favorite shows that I just recently watched it. But I watched it twice. I watched it on my own at first, then I kind of forced my sister to watch it with me again. And she liked it, so no harm done. But I decided we need more characters, or more like a little... It's like when something's stuck in your brain so much that you want to give out those thoughts. So basic, these character designs are like that. The first one, I kind of choose... If you haven't seen the series, there's the main character, Luz, who goes through a door which is leads to the Dimaram, and she kinda stay there. And the witches who lives there have different coven systems. I think first you don't really see the coven system, so you have a more grasp on the coven system on the second season. But basically you have 9 covens that you have to choose, and if you don't choose, you are a wild witch. So you kind of have to choose one, and I thought which word I want to go with, and I decided to go with the coven system. This sentence makes more sense if you have seen the whole series, but I choose covens that a little bit more or less explained and explored. So the first one was the potion coven. Actually, we have seen so much characters with potion coven's uniform, but it's more like those characters were served like we don't know really which coven we want to belong to, so we just kind of chosen one. So I wanted to create someone who firstly wanted to be in that coven, and maybe she decides to learn something else also, but the idea was she belongs to that coven and she likes it. And at first I had the idea that she's gonna hold a little cauldron so she can create potions all the way wherever she is. Had a little cauldron in my head, but the day I wanted to create this character, I don't feel like drawing hands. And even on my best day, I struggle so much with hands. Okay, what else can I do to still have the same vibes and have the same idea? So I decided to have a little cauldron with an eye, and I created a little creature. I thought of her actually being a little bit outcast, and that's also a big theme of the show. That's how it feels like to be outcasted. I thought she might not fit in her class, so she made a potion to give life to her cauldron. Maybe I was influenced by Frankenstein too. I've recently read it, so that little cauldron lives now, and they just like to sit on her shoulder. Also, you can see I've created silhouettes. I really wanted to tap in the full bodies, but I didn't really trust myself to have enough energy to do all of them full bodies. So I decided to give myself an easier route. So I decided to create silhouettes, because It's almost like that, so you can see the dynamics of the characters, but I don't pressure myself to come up a whole body design. The next one was the Oracle Coven. It's also a not really explored coven. Through the series we have seen one fight scene with an oracle, which also there is one minor major, I don't really know how to call her, a character who also in that coven, but she really has a different role than being a witch who represents that coven. So that's why I still call it a little bit unexplored, and it's not on the show. I do know on the third season it was cut off. I don't know why, as Disney, so they had least freedom and episodes to finish the whole series that they've just built up through 2 seasons. So I not pinning them on not exploring the whole 9 covens. So, but I had more freedom to create characters, so that's fine too. So this character is someone who doesn't really happy about being someone who can use oracle powers. So in the series we have seen someone who got chosen in the wrong coven, so that's why she struggled through her classes. So I thought it might be an interesting idea to have someone who has a strong connection to a power, but they don't really want that power. I thought of him being a little bit scared of the unexplained ghost powers, and the little earring and the necklace is basically the crystals that he can control through the ghost. Probably not very well because the ghost is just fooling around. But I really thought of him being afraid of his own power, and the ghost is kind of being happy with his witch partner. Yeah, so I thought of him being scared of his own power, and that's gonna give him his dynamic in the group, because everyone else is so happy and connected to their power. So it's gonna be this character job to be connected to his own power, to accept it, and so on. So that's his line of work basically. So even the silhouette is really weighted down, not looking at the ghost and looking down. On the character design you can see the eyes looking the other way. The last one, Beekeeping Coven. We have some hints about how they really work, so it's a pretty self-explanatory coven. You have bees that you are training, you keep them, you heal them, no, not heal them, that's another coven, but yeah, it's basically like dealing with bees. But we don't really see too much beasts on the island. We do know about demons and witches because we got classes on them through the series, but we don't really have too much of a base class, so we can see some recurring beasts through the series. but we don't have that much on variety. So when I did my little research, because sometimes I do that, I looked up the beasts, and we had 6 or 7, so we don't really have too much. So I thought maybe I should create a new one, which I hoped it's kind of fit the whole serious vibe. So and probably I tried to match it with the characters too. So I came up with Ghost with horns, with demon horns. That was the beast idea. I was like, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Probably giving a little more goofy characters. I mean, the character is carrying the ghost on head, so we know they are gonna be the goofball of the team. I'm sorry, that's the rule. So I imagine them being the character being really goofy, happy about life, and being on board on every adventure. So the potion coven girl, she's just gonna go around on adventure, and the Beast Boy is gonna be like, yeah, I'm on board. Let's drag along the third member of the team. So I imagine that's how their dynamic works pretty much. Also, because we are at the end, I can tell what was my big oopsies through this project. In the Old House series, every witch has a talisman, and I totally forget about those. So I didn't design any talismans for them for this week. Maybe in the future I'm gonna do this, because I'm pretty sure I really do like these characters, so I want to goof around with them on my free time, do more designs and little pieces of their life, just to goof around and fool around for me whenever I feel bored or kind of stuck on art. And now we reached the end. I had fun. I was excited about this idea. I think I almost say this sentence about my projects, but yeah, I tried to come up with ideas which I really like. The Old House is such a good series for me. I really liked it. I can't wait to forget some parts of it so I can rewatch it. I'm happy with the characters. I hope someday I'm gonna do the talismans, also the full body designs. I think that was all I wanted to talk about. I rambled long enough. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to say bye, but yeah.